Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. I know the first impression on Kyoto wasn't great, and I fear that my math will actually be off. This is one of those rare times. I guess I slept on a hero and I came to my conclusion a little bit too quickly. I'm really happy, so thank you so much, Pitiful, and for sharing a couple of screenshots from me, because I know Hexa and I think Nikari as well have been testing Kyoto exclusive like a lot over the last couple of days. So thank you so much, you guys, for sharing this with me. Here's a screenshot of Planar Rift where you can see Kyoto come into play, and here is a battle between Hexa and Nantako. Both are really big whales, and you can see how much damage Kyoto outputs. So today we're going to go into depth a little bit more about Kyoto, and just to see where is this damage all coming from, how fast can he actually scale up his damage, how does he compare against some of the other top DPS in each of its class, like in terms of an HP based scaling damage hero, how does it all play out. So hope you enjoy the content of this video, and let's see what kind of conclusion we reach, because we're going to do all this testing a little bit live. I did read into his skill quite a bit before I started the video, but the testing isn't complete, but we're going to find out together a little bit in this video. But first of all, if we look at his kit, right, he's got both internal injury as well as bleed, which allows him to fit into both bleed teams and internal injury teams. Now, noting that sometimes you can't use internal injury. Actually, you know what? One way to actually quickly check if we are sleeping on him or not is to see if he actually showed up in the top damage list. So here, let's check a couple of days ago. Ranking for internal injury was this day. And do we see any Kyotos in here? We do see one Kyoto. So Hexa, see? Hexa has been testing him quite a bit. All right? And I don't know, is Tyrell also have internal injury? So, and Tyrell, I believe she steals stats. Honestly, I thought she did steal stats, but her kit is so long, I'm not going to go read through the essay. But you can see, like, Hexa's definitely been testing it, right? And if you look at it, yes, Hexa's still, but Hexa didn't run, but he still got the Diamu and Indra in there. I know Diamu and Indra just on their own is going to dish out more than 11 bill. So again, is Kyrito's going to make it to the top? Not sure. Like I usually do. I was too lazy. I had very little time. Normally I would have been 8th on this. I do a little bit over 15 bill. So does Kyoto matter? Not here. Let's check the bleed teams if he actually showed up on the bleed team. Actually, bleed team was this day, right? No, that's no. On the so here's, do we see Kyoto in here? I don't think Kyoto will show up here now, because a lot less percentage of his damage come from it. But see, the problem here is it doesn't work really well in this content. Today is actually bleed day. It's because the boss only takes damage from that type. But however, if you look in Planar Rift, well, I guess bleed is not over. When you fight the boss here, right, you require to match the tag for here. For example, I need to do all poison. But the boss isn't actually, taking, can only take damage from, for example, poison damage, right? So there is no limitation. So you're doing full damage onto the enemy in Planar Rift. So he's really good in Planar Rift. And we also see that on the guild boss, the new guild boss, when you do 2 types of damage, you get an extra damage buff. So let's see if over here, if we've been sleeping on him a little bit in the top damage list here. Now, we have this on absurd, but is there a way to see ranking? No, I guess you can't see other people's ranking. So if anybody is using Kyoto to do more than 12 billion damage in one key, please let me know in the comments below. But let's do some testing here. So what have we been really sleeping on? Let's look at his mechanic a little bit. So one of the things, first of all, is when you're at exclusive 3, you're going to do 20% extra mastery can be stolen, but more importantly, you can get to 20 layers. So here that means you can get max HP increased by 100%. So you're doubling your HP from your passive. But when you multiply it against this one, that is actually going to boost you on top of whatever stat you are at. So it's actually going to allow you to go to 3 times wherever HP you're starting at. We'll test that to see if that increase, is it against what you started at, or is it actually like multiplied again on top of this max HP. So we'll find out shortly. I think it might not be multiplicative. We'll just have to double check the numbers in a sec. The next part here is we want to know if he's able to actually go straight. If he's fighting 5 enemies, does he still go straight into 200 mastery as a result of just Mighty Axe? Because that's a lot of mastery gain, and you get 3 turns gain of that mastery. So doubling your mastery will double your damage. And in PvP, it might even do more because, you are losing a lot of mastery, or there's a lot of mastery resistance. So this way, it allows you to quickly get past that, and the damage you increase as a result, surprisingly, is a lot more than just double. So that's the other part why he's able to do so much damage in PvP. Finally, here is he actually increases his basic attack as well on one of his passives. So I think it's over here, right? So Axe for one extra turn after casting the Pride. So he's increasing his HP. So Catalyst of Chaos. So it allows Kratos to steal mastery from the enemy has deal the most damage for 2 turns. Will be removed after triggering once. So he's stealing even more mastery, and he gains War Spirit, increased basic attack by 20%. So his basic attacks are actually now gonna do even more damage as well. So if we multiply all these numbers together, he can actually really scale up his damage multiplicatively, like doubling, like 3 times your HP, 2 times your mastery, and then here probably another 3 times your basic attack. So his damage is going to go up by somewhere around close to 20, like what, 18 times? If I'm doing my math right, this is actually a lot. And in drawn out battles, this kind of scaling is actually very high. So we're gonna test it out now, and to see how he compares against some other heroes. So here, what I'm gonna do is instead use my own heroes around some of the more common, top DPS in an AOE setting here. We're gonna put in Erato, just for comparison's sake, right? Against say Jazil. We're gonna put him up against what's another really good hero to test against? I know Muro's damage isn't that incredibly high, but still, let's put it against Marie as well. Marie's more single target, but I feel like I think that's a good selection. We're gonna go over here, edit attributes. We're gonna sync up the stats for all my hero, and all of these are like geared out. You guys all have seen my stats, right? So these are not weak by any sense. We're gonna do this, and then lineup wise, we're gonna get we're gonna put Kyoto here. So Kyoto is basically adopting the same stats as my Erato. And then we're over here on my team. I'm going to put my Erato back in here again. Now we're going to test this without echoes for now. And I know the echoes are going to boost this damage even more. It's a more of a damage boosting set. So you can see here's Erato stats perfectly matching Kyoto. So let's start it out and just leave it to run a little bit and see what we get. But let's pay attention to the first couple of hits, right? So right now, Kyoto is at 164 mastery, okay? And he is already at, well, I guess this HP gain is because of Airto over here, but that is, we're going to see a lot of HP coming out of him. All right, so here, that first, so when hitting all the target here, I'm already at 7 stacks. So stacking up actually didn't take a lot of time at all, right? So stacking up, he's already at 9 stacks from just one HP up, 1 AoE. We're at 2.8 million already. So from his initial starting point, he's already more than double his HP at this point already. And I feel like close to 100% increase, right? So this one is additive to this cap. So you get 50%, so 150% of your starting HP just from what he can do himself. But this actually stacks up a lot faster than I originally thought. And doing a God of War AoE, and just look at how much mastery he's at already. He's at 444 mastery. All right, so he ramps up way faster than it was led on from here, because after going twice, like God of War to everybody, right, and then everybody doing Catalyst of Chaos. Now I'm stealing. Well, I guess I can't tell from here because you can't see the minus mastery, but I actually stole a lot of mastery from the enemy because of the God of War, the stealing from here. So now he's basically in like 2 turns. I guess actually 1 turn and everybody else moving. He's already kind of stacked to a point where he's double the HP and nearly 3 times the mastery from our initial stat. And we haven't even started talking about how much more basic attack now he's gaining. Okay, so you can see his pursuit, right? Like there's some pursuit attack that's going on because everybody's. So you don't actually have to rely on doing attribute. He's actually getting quite a bit of pursuit from this from Catalyst of War. So here, because here's the thing: each time after stealing attribute, okay, because your allies all get Catalyst of Chaos, you're actually stealing mastery from the enemy, and those actually count. So that was the part I was worried about. I was like, hey, we need to bring him with a team of all heroes that steal attributes, but you actually don't, because these ones actually count. And that's the part that I completely missed out. And you can see he's actually pursuing a ton as a result. Look at him. He's literally pursuing like all over the place, which was not expected, right? So you can see, right? Like your entire team, everybody has the little axe on him. You see how everybody has the axe buff? And you can see he's like pursuing, attacking the highest mastery enemy, and the one that did most damage. And look how many basic attack he's going at it, right? Like that is insane. Like nobody's gonna survive that. So we've been sleeping on him all this time. Like he's actually an incredible DPS. So let's quickly check our damage report already. You can see he's like out DPSing everybody. Like I feel so bad about misjudging him. Like, and I'm so happy that Pitiful sent me a note and says, "Are you sure? Like, do you want to do a quick video on this?" I'm like after seeing those 2 screenshots, I'm like, I'm convinced I need to look at them right away because I don't want the community to miss out. Like if you do have some spare runes, because what we have seen is literally every miracle hero like they've been introducing, they've been all really, really strong. And at this point, I'm pretty convinced that getting 3 new heroes is going to be way stronger for your account than to like get 3 copies of a limited hero and then having to spend another at least $100 there to grab like the 3rd copy so you can have an E3. So in theory, like you could really power up your account from time to time by picking, a new miracle hero that you like. Especially if you're free to play. Like, you don't have to save an entire freaking year just to get one limited hero. Like, don't get me wrong, limited heroes are still super, super strong. But these new heroes aren't exactly weak either, and they're all into the hero pool too. So, Tyrell, right? Like this guy, Hogarth, like all of these Hyena, like all of these heroes have been super strong. So yeah, like Eruto is popping up, but if you look at Eruto's damage, Eruto is now fully stacked. I thought it would take way longer to get Kyoto to max out to like full stacks, but it didn't take long at all, right? And those 10 stacks of might isn't falling off, right? This is a permanent buff on basic damage. So now his basic hits are 3 times hard. He has 300% HP, and his mastery is still up there at like 400 something, which is absurd. Like, that's like 20 times what his original math numbers are. Look how hard his basic attacks are hitting now. Just here, we're gonna go slowly. Look, he's gonna go God of War, right? Just look at his basic attack. That is 11, or is that close to 12 million damage right there, right? Yes, Eruto is gonna be popping off, but if we leave this running, like, yes, Eruto is going to do a whole bunch of procs, and I don't know if Eruto is going to catch up, but Eruto isn't going to get to 100 stacks in a fight. This guy is ramped up after like 2 turns. So normally I don't do this. But yeah, like this is scary, the amount of damage he's doing, right? And that 12 million was against a red mark, so he's doing 25% less. If he's actually fighting, like, look, 14 million damage on that, and that's not even the bleed portion. Bleed was 4. So if you take bleed plus the internal injury, that's 20 million a hit, right? 20 million a hit. Like, what kind of damage is that? So he absolutely ramp up. He's like a stronger version of when Xiaoring came out for free, right? Like, Xiaoring was like, oh, it takes a couple turns for her to fully stack up, and she does ridiculous amount of damage and single targetedly delete people. This guy ramp up in like a fraction of that time, and is like popping off 20 mils a hit right now. So it's almost like if I give all my gear over to Eruto, give Eruto to Kyoto, like, this guy is gonna destroy. So I guess he is living up to his name, God of War. Definitely very, very strong. So hopefully this video convinces you. If it does not, why don't you go test it yourself, especially if you have Eruto. You can see, like, the damage is not catching up. Like, the ratio is still about the same. And he's out DPSing all of these other top DPSs here. And all of them are like properly geared with my best gear on all of them. So there you go. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gandalf out.